Hi, doing a quick video on writing the tangent line, writing the equation of a tangent line in and of itself, and then maybe parallel version and also perpendicular. So, here we go. Let's look at what we have to do first. Well, we have to try and put it in y equals mx plus b. Now, you'll watch other videos out there and they might show you how you can use y minus y1 equals m times x minus 1, or the point slope form. I like the slope intercept form myself. So here's what we have to do. One is we gotta figure out what y is, right? How do we get that? We get this by substituting the given x value into the original f of x equation. So it is y, that's what it says. I'm y, so all you gotta do is plug in the x and find it back in the original y. We'll need a slope. How do we get the slope? Well, that's what calculus is all about. First derivative is going to give us the slope of that function at any given line. That's what the equation does for us. That's the definition of the derivative, right? So we find f prime of x, or the first derivative, then substitute the given x value into that equation that we found, and that will give us the numerical value of the slope. That will become our m, or our slope value. X, well, typically they give that to us, so that's a given. In some cases, other times, we'll look at a situation where they didn't give it to us. And b is, we need to solve for that. So once we have the other three, then we can solve for the fourth. All right, example number 1 says, write the equation of the tangent line of y equals x squared plus x at x equal 2. First thing we want to do is find y. How do we do it? Well, we simply substitute the y value in. So f of 2 is 2 squared plus 2, or 6. So that's our y. Now, we've got to find the m, or we're going to take the first derivative. Well, the first derivative of x squared plus x is 2x plus 1. Power rule. If you need to refresh yourself on the power rule, make sure you do that. Well, when we plug in or substitute the 2 in there, we get 2 times 2, which is 5. Now, we already know that x is 2 because that was given. So what do we do? 6 is equal to, or the y value is equal to m times x plus b. So y is 6 equals 5 to the slope times the 2 that was given is 10. 10 plus b, so we subtract 10 from both sides. We get b is equal to -4, so we get a final equation of 5x minus 4. All right, on to the next one. Now this one is a little bit more complicated here, okay? So try and stay with me. You might need to pause it and rewatch it a couple times. Write the equation of the tangent line that is parallel to another line whose slope is 2. We've got to write the two equations of the two tangent lines. Something is happening here. Well, first of all, what is this function? I urge you to pause the video and see if you remember what a cubic function looks like. All right? What does it do? How can we get two slopes out of that would be the exact same? Right? Well, think about that. It's a concept question. First thing we want to do, we don't have a y value. We didn't get an x. All we got was a slope, so we have to find the x. How do we do that? We set the slope, or f prime of x, equal to the slope that they gave us. And that will help us find the x value. So if f prime of x is, power rule, 3x squared minus 1 now, we set that equal to 2, because that's the slope that they gave us of 2. Now, once we do that, we add 1 to both sides. We get 3x squared is equal to 3. Divide by 3, we get x squared is equal to 1. And we get x is equal to plus or minus 1. Recall that when we take the square root of something on both sides, if one side is squared, then we must have the plus or minus. That's a huge point here to remember. We already know that the slope is 2. So let's see. What do we do next? We need to find the y value. Now we have an x. We know the slope is 2. We have two sets of x's, so we've got two different equations we've got to plug into. Well, f of -1, back in the original function, -1 cubed is still -1, minus a minus 1. That becomes a plus 1, so we get 0. Y is 0. This is looking good. I like when y is 0. It makes it easier on the math. If the function at 1, so 1 cubed is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0 again. So this function goes through the x-axis at negative 1, must go down to come around, and then also at positive 1. So what do we do? Well, we got to solve for the two different b values. 0 is equal to 2 times 1 plus b, and 0 is equal to 2 times negative 1. Or in this case, your b value is negative 2. And where am I? Come on, drop down a little bit. There we are. Hopefully you can see that. So y is going to be equal to, yep, there it is. Right there. Hopefully you can see that. One time it doesn't want to show the whole screen. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, anyway, I'll rewrite it. Y is equal to 2x plus 2 and also 2x minus 2. Hopefully you saw that. 2x plus 2 and 2x minus 2. All right, last example. Write the equation of the normal line, to the tangent line of y equals 3x squared plus 2x at x equal 1. All right, we can go back to our normal way of doing this, and that is first find y. Y is equal to 3, our x value is 1, 3 times 1 squared plus 2 times 1, or 3 plus 2 is 5, so y is 5. Now we need to find the slope, m. Y prime is, well, power rule, 2 times 3 is 6x plus 2. So y prime of 1 is equal to 8. What do we know about x? Well, they told us what x was. It's 1. All right. Now, in this case, it's super important that we know we want the normal or the perpendicular. What is the perpendicular slope? Well, it's the negative reciprocal, so negative 1 over m. So in our case, we want negative 1/8. We don't want the 8. That's a parallel line. We want the slope to be the opposite reciprocal. So, what do we do? Plug it back in. 5 is equal to negative 1/8 times 1 plus b, your y-intercept. Add 1/8 to both sides. We get 5 plus 1/8. And we get, changing 5 into 8s, we get 40 plus 1 is 41/8. So then your equation is y is equal to negative 1/8x plus 41/8 as your y-intercept. All right? Hope that helps. Great time with you. I hope you saw this one down here and you get all that right. All right, thanks. Have a great time.